Hey guys, Comic Boom here to review Batman issue 52. This is part 2 of a story called Cold Days, involving Bruce Wayne in the middle of jury duty deciding whether or not Mr. Freeze is guilty of murdering 3 women. What happened? Let's check it out. Guys, I'm happy to report that this issue is a little bit better than the first one, a little bit better than issue 51. It's once again, if you get over the ridiculous suggestion that Bruce Wayne could even be on jury duty, where Batman is accused by the accused of beating a confession out of him. Obviously, Bruce Wayne would not be able to be on that jury given his affiliation and connection to Batman. But suspend your disbelief and let that go. This issue here, once again, beautifully drawn by Lee Weeks. Beautifully drawn. The whole issue is basically flashbacks of the events leading up to the charging and the trial of Mr. Freeze, and the entire issue is basically a conversation as the members of the jury are basically talking to Bruce Wayne, because Bruce Wayne is the one guy in the jury that thinks it's possible that maybe Mr. Freeze is not guilty. And what's really going on here is, it's quite obvious that Bruce Wayne is exploring the possibility. Bruce Wayne is now finally acknowledging the possibility that maybe he was a little angry and a little too pissed off, and it clouded his judgment when he went after Mr. Freeze in the first place, and that maybe the evidence against Mr. Freeze, maybe he missed something as Batman, and so he's really scrutinizing and he's being hard on Batman. He's obviously talking, he doesn't tell the jury members obviously that he's Batman, but he's talking as if he's talking about Batman in the third person, obviously, and being very critical of Batman, i.e. obviously critical of himself. And in that way, it's very revealing in here, in this issue. Now, the idea that any reasonable doubt was planted, I don't think that I don't think that Bruce Wayne did a very good job. It's not enough reasonable doubt in my mind. But I suppose, as with anything, we're all members of the jury in this story, so you can disagree with me on that. I think that based on the evidence that was before the jury, there's not enough there for reasonable doubt, at least in my mind. But you know, you can speculate, and in any event, however you decide that, because you can come up with your own mind on that when you read the evidence. But I think the most revealing aspect here is when Bruce Wayne, there's a beautiful sequence where Bruce Wayne tells the jury about his experience as a young boy when his parents are killed, and he talks about how he reacted to the fear and how that affected him. Because one of the jury members said to him, well, you know, look, Mr. Freeze confessed to the crime. Why would he confess to the crime? And he wasn't coerced by Batman to confess. He confessed to Commissioner Gordon and to the police. He confessed, you know, days after the crime. He was still confessing to the crime. How, if he didn't do it, why did he continue to confess to it? And basically Bruce Wayne gives a very interesting response, and he says, you know, he basically shares something very personal with the members of the jury, saying, look, when I was younger and my parents were murdered in front of me, I basically I carried that fear with me for a long time, and it's something that affects you and it doesn't leave you, and the scars that it can bestow upon you are very real. And I thought that was very interesting. And basically he was suggesting that, look, you know, he was implying that the Batman can scare you to death and scare you so traumatically that you will continue to confess days after the event, just because you're scared. That's what fear does. And it's clear that Bruce Wayne knows the power that he has as the Batman. Bruce Wayne is aware of how powerful he is as Batman, and Bruce Wayne believes that he scared Mr. Freeze enough to confess very clearly. And at least that's what it's strongly suggested, because after all, something is bugging Bruce Wayne about this. And of course, Bruce Wayne is Batman, so if something's bugging Bruce Wayne, you know that there's something that he missed, and he's trying to figure out what it is. And there's a key point in this. There's a key point in the prosecution of Mr. Freeze where the evidence was in Commissioner that the Gotham City PD forensic pathologist didn't find that there was a drop in temperature on the brainstem or something, and then Batman found out that there actually was after the fact. And Bruce Wayne thinks it's possible that somebody interfered with the corpses of the three women in between when the Gotham forensic pathologist examined the body and when Batman did, and that they maybe changed the bodies. It's possible that could have happened. Again, it really comes across as pure speculation in the conversation between the jury members, but it's it's interesting. It sort of plants some ideas in your head. One of the things that I found comical in this particular story is there's about 2 or 3 times where one of the members, they say, let's have a bathroom break, because things get a little heated and the discussion gets heated and they argue. And about, I think 2 or 3 times that one of the members of the jury says, okay, time for a bathroom break, time for a bathroom break. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't believe one of the jury members didn't make a comment about the fact that the men's bathroom has been destroyed. I mean, Bruce Wayne ripped the urinal off the wall in the previous issue, and certainly some of the men in the jury, the other 12, some of the men in the members of the jury, if they went to the washroom, they would have saw that a urinal was ripped off the wall. And I couldn't help thinking to myself, like, look, Bruce Wayne, the last thing Bruce Wayne needs to do is go to the bathroom again, because there's going to be nothing left there's going to be no urinals left the more he goes to the washroom. But in any event, I thought it was comical, but no comment was made. I thought for sure there's going to be a scene where one of the jury guys comes back and says, guys, did you see what the hell happened to the bathroom there? But anyways, that's a little side note. Overall, the art here, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's Lee Weeks. It does pretty good, and it ends on something very interesting. Apparently, Bruce Wayne claims that he's going to be able to prove to at least one member of the jury that Batman is not the hero that Gotham thinks he is, and he says, yeah, I can prove that. Because one lady holds him accountable and says, look, at the end of the day, we're still looking at the Batman, we're looking at judging Batman versus Mr. Freeze, and Batman's the hero. And unless you can prove to me that Batman's not a hero, forget about it. And Bruce Wayne says he can, and that's how the issue ends. So there's one more issue to go in this series. It's a 3-issue series called Cold Days. We'll see if Bruce Wayne's going to be successful and where this is going to go. But I like the psychological study a little bit. Gets into Bruce Wayne's head a little bit. Clearly, he's hurting. He alludes to the fact that we all suffer loss, we suffer hurt, and we've loved and we've lost. And I really like how this gets into Bruce Wayne's head in a manner that we haven't so far. We never learned anything about Bruce Wayne during his relationship with Selina. Tom King's done a terrible job building up that relationship. We never once had Bruce Wayne told 11 strangers in a room more than he ever told Selina in the previous, in the first 50 issues. That's what's so tragic about this. And it's really, really sad. And I can understand, maybe that's another reasons why Bruce Wayne's pissed off, because he did nothing to really open up to Selina. He did nothing to really earn her love, and yet she gave it to him. Two very closed off people don't really seem to talk much to each other. It's kind of sad and pathetic, really. No wonder Selina's so pissed off over in the pages of Catwoman, #1, and Bruce Wayne continues and remains pissed off and resentful here in issue 52 of Batman. But anyway, guys, tell me what you think. Batman issue 52. And until next time, hook me up. Check me out on Twitter at Metropolis40 on Twitter, also called Comic Boom at Metropolis40 on Twitter. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And until next time, Comic Boom out.